Hello, Suprabhat, Namaste, Bonjour. Welcome to the journey of my dreams, where nothing is new. Whatever there is has always existed and will always exist. In some shape or form, whether at the present time we know it or not, and whether it is visible or not, I believe that. When I click my camera, it is capturing a piece of history. When its shutter opens, a piece of present is covered and it closes in a piece of tomorrow. I realize that. More than a photographer, I see myself as a journalist. This presentation is a collection of my shoots from journeys in the past and some in the present time. From the Gurukul in West Bengal to Harvard in Boston, USA. A journey of a boy maturing to a young man. The journey of life as I see. I am Nirav Sahni, born and brought up in Gujarat, homeland of Mahatma Gandhi. I am currently working towards my high school diploma. I am at a crossroad in my life, deciding to take my road to travel and internalize my destination. I'm confused as any other 12th grader. I'm worried as any teenager. I sink it all in my music, reading, and my travels. This summer, I decided on traveling around America trying to find myself, where I had this unique opportunity when I got admitted to the Harvard Summer School. Besides studying and presenting papers in Harvard, I decided to take out my camera, go length and breadth of America, coast to coast. This short photo journal is about my journey. I have always studied outside my home state since an early age. Every summer, I would go around different parts of India and Gujarat, spending time with my family and visiting different places. I used to enjoy, but the actual journeys didn't mean much to me. I should have been 14 that year when my grandfather joined us for one of those long summer trips. That year, we were going to Somnath Temple. He told us children the story of the days when he and his brother moved with family from Pakistan to Gujarat, India. I remember that inspiring story on route temple. It stayed with me all these years. That journey of two families defined who we are now. I realized that while traveling, we may appear attached to our seats, the surroundings, and our fellow travelers. I started loving the journeys, the stories, the relations, and the scenes around. We were not Gujaratis, which made me think and baffled me as to why are we here. I decided to find out more who I am, why am I here, and where do I belong to. Initially, it was a hobby and it evolved to be my passion and obsession. I was so determined to know that I read as much as I could, filtered data from my grandpa and dad and rest of the elders in the journey. It was so scattered around like a puzzle that needed to be assorted, so I decided to go around those different places related to my family history and exploring the crux out of it. One of this journey took me to Shantiniketan, a small town in the state of West Bengal. This was where a guru called Rabindranath Tagore, also a Nobel laureate and the writer of the Indian national anthem, started a gurukul. They say he started it under a tree. That tree is still there. We went there. Near that tree, I told my dad that I wanted to go to one of the best universities in the world. He told me, held my hand tight and whispered, "Son, the best learning we get is from life." He took a deep breath and looked into my eyes and said, "After all, wherever you want to go will depend on you." Here I am, 17 years old, going around different universities in the United States. While going through Ivy League University campuses from Princeton to MIT to Yale to Brown, I was thinking more about great universities of different time zones. I was thinking about Takshila or great learning centers in Cairo during a different century. I imagined hundreds of prospective students and interacted with great minds of that time, debating and discussing issues of various times. While driving hundreds of kilometers through rural America, passing by great liberal arts schools in upstate New York, crossing Mississippi, and going to Midwest schools including the University of Iowa, I learned one thing: the American culture. Stayed in motels as well as the Hyatt. Knocked open a small coffee shop early morning to get a morning tea to a black coffee as well as a white cookie in Clinton, New York. I got to know America and Americans. Their history, their spirit. I took campus tours, met with professors, students, admission officers around. Evenings tried to take city tours, duck tours, visited art museums and libraries. It was not only visiting universities tour for me, it opened a new world in front of me, a world of history, science and geography. Traveling from LA to Rhode Island, I fell in love with America, I think. Photography and writing have always been my forte and something that I loved. Came to big use during these several weeks of travel, study, project, lectures in Harvard, and long weekend travels. All started to make sense now. So wherever I went and whatever camera I had, whether it be an SLR or an iPhone, I captured stories and pictures that each had a different perspective. Citizen. I have been out on the street like any other youth in India, following the protest call from Anna Hazare. I also can relate to young men and women who stand in front of the tanks in Tiananmen Square or in Tahrir Square. Sitting here in Harvard Square, I am jotting all these down. I am starting to identify myself with an American student, and I am realizing that I am in a comfort zone, that I am a global citizen.